Tarkir's new timeline was not a smooth transition, nor was it peaceful. In the establishment of the Dragon Lords after Sarkhan saved Ugin, the very idea of a non-dragon in power was not just outlawed, but covered up, and the word Khan forbidden. This is the event known simply as Khanfall. Let's set the scene a bit. Within 7 months of Sarkhan saving Ugin, not only did the Dragon Tempest grow more intense as spawns doubled, tripled, and quadrupled the amount they did normally, the immediate pinch was felt by every Khan as the dragons began encroaching on their territory. None took more offense to it than the Sultai Khan Tasigur. You see, Tasigur was a young, arrogant, privileged Nepo baby who didn't have a nice word for anyone in particular. As a result of his constant disrespect towards everyone in general, but no one in particular, his lead necromancers deserted the Sultai brood, which left Tasigur unable to mount a defense against the dragon sieges, Jeskai, and Abzan assaults. So, out of options, Tasigur immediately began looking for a means to save his own skin. Entered the drifting death Silumgar, whom Tasigur struck a bargain with that if in exchange he ratted out where the next Khan's meeting was, he would be given a special place in Silumgar's brood. Meanwhile, in the Abzan houses, things were becoming grim as Dromoka laid waste to the clan to the point where their Khan Dagatar consulted his amber mace made of what was left of the first kin tree, which suggested that they catch Dromoka unaware and murder her mid-parlay. Dagatar gave pause during the negotiations and asked Dromoka why she had killed his people. Dromoka explained that her brood viewed the Abzan practice of the kin tree as a form of necromancy, and it was an affront to the natural order, in her opinion. Dagatar considered what he was told for a brief moment and then promptly shattered the mace, releasing the spirits, and went all in against the clan, with Dromoka ordering an end to the practice of the kin tree and ancestry worship. As a result, the Abzan elected a new Khan in Rayhan who is deeply anti-dragon, which leaves the Abzan houses divided. On to the Jeskai Wei's Khan, Shu Yun, who after experiencing a series of dragon attacks, called for a meeting of the Khans at the Durgar stronghold to discuss the future. That was all it took, frankly. The meeting date came, and Tasigur betrayed them as Ojutai, Silumgar, and their respective broods flew overhead. We saw the Khans act. Rayhan did battle against Silumgar with what remained of the Abzan. A tenth of its strength, unfortunately, was not enough. Rayhan fell in battle to Silumgar whilst defending Yasova and Alesha. They both escaped, and Shu Yun, he was forced to surrender and was captured by Ojutai. To save the rest of the Jeskai, Shu Yun and his Ghostfire initiates gave their lives to make peace between the Jeskai and Ojutai. Following this, Alesha and Yasova abolished their clans. Yasova and the rest of the Temur began hunting for Atarka and went underground with their practices. The Mardu were content to follow Kullagan, seeing as she did not seek to oppress them, but did keep up with the bands. With the death of Rayhan, Dagatar was reappointed Khan. The practice of ancestor worship continued in secret thanks to Anafenza. A new kin tree was created. Shu Yun's death resulted in the almost complete loss of the Ghostfire technique among the ranks of the Jeskai. Shu Yun was no fool, thankfully, as he kept underground archives which would be discovered by Narset. This was what she was reading that caused her spark to ignite. Of all the Khans, I would say fate was the most cruel to Tasigur. Rightly so, in my opinion. Silumgar did indeed reward Tasigur. Well, that's not quite true. The correct wording would be Silumgar rewarded himself with Tasigur. Follow me on this. Tasigur was chained up with golden shackles and a collar. He was kept alive as a trophy. 1,280 years later, Silumgar wears his corpse on a chain as a pendant, a special place in his brood, just as they agreed.